I think the next thing to do would be to figure out how to get the viewshed working. The visible, what the player can see kind of thing. Because right now we just draw everything, right? And in the roguelike tutorial, we learned that we want to create this thing called a viewshed. And of course, I have no idea if I have a tab. Oops. If I have a tab open for here it is. No, that's the unofficial Bevy cheat book. Here it is. Okay. I have too many tabs. I should close some of these down. He says, and he's not going to. Field of view. That was it. Where we created this thing called a viewshed. Right. And that just shows what the visible area is. And here we go. So we implement algorithm 2D for map. And that's interesting. What this does is it generates this dimensions, okay. And then we implement base map for map and then say whether or not it's opaque. Okay. So those are the two things we need to do for our map. We have the bracket lib prelude, we have create components, and we have the map here. So we have impl map generator, here's impl map, and then we'll just say impl algorithm 2D for map. And that should be, yeah. Implement these for handling conversion to from 2D coordinates. They're separate because you might want Dwarf Fortress style 3D. Okay. We have to implement dimensions, and we return a point, and we're going to do point new, self width, and self height. So it's exactly the same code. And that doesn't work. And the trait base map is not implemented for map. Okay, so it's expecting it to be a base map type. Okay, so let's implement that. And then you should flip these around in the in the tutorial, right? Map. Fn is opaque. Self. IDX is your size. Returns a bool. Self tiles. IDX as you size. Wow. So it's, for now, we don't have tile types. We just have. Oh, we want to return the opposite, right? Because for us, a tile set to true means that it's a floor, right? If you look here. So we're doing the opposite there. So if we run that now, okay, so now we have these two things, and now we can ask our LTK for a viewshed. So we're going to implement a visibility system. Should I create a separate directory, a separate, I don't know the best way to break this up, right? I make source system and then create source system mod.rs, and I can say mod visibility, visibility star, right? And that's going to fail because we don't have visibility. Okay, so basically now we're just going to implement this. And this is the visibility system, so this is going to be a Bevy thing. Bevy ECS thing. So we're not going to use specs. But we can just write the code here. Oops, what's going on? Oh, I wasn't in insert mode. That's why. Fn visibility system. And what we need is the resource of the map. And we're going to write, this says write storage and write position. So that's interesting. How does this work? So we're calling this function called field of view, which is part of the bracket lib. And giving it a range. We can just hardcode a range for now, and then passing in the map. And the map has to implement algorithm 2D and base map. That's how we get that working. And then we're doing Viewshed visible tiles retain. Px is greater than 0, px is map with. Why would we need this line? Because it's setting the array, right? And what does that array look like? We should take a look at that. Oh, I see. We have to do it for every mob or everything that has a viewshed. I get it. So we need a query. So first we need the map, which is, so we say map, res map. And then we're going to do a query, which is going to be query on things that have a viewshed, which we have to define. Should we do it here? It's a viewshed and everything that has a viewshed and a position. Right, the position will tell us where we're starting. Got it. And we already have that. And then this doesn't do this. We can do this, and then this won't build because we don't have position yet, right? That's in source something. Components, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so if I say use create components star, that should give us position. Okay, so now that builds. Oh, because we're not using system yet. Okay, so source system, right? Okay, so in main we have to tell it we have system. Mod system, use system star. Okay, now it's going to blow up. Oh, I forgot to create the struct here. Struct viewshed. And it needs to contain, I guess this should be pub, right? Because we're going to need to add it to the player. And what does it need to contain? It needed a list of some kind, right? Because we did it clear. So it's a vec of points. Okay. And range is going to be I32. Okay. So now we run this system. So we have the query. So we should just say for viewshed in query. Or we're doing query iter mute, right? Because we're going to modify the viewshed. So vs.visible tiles.clear. Oh, vs.0. Right? And then we're going to do the same thing here. vs.0.visible tiles equals field of view. And we have to give it these things here. I'm not sure about this ref deref here. Let's find out what we need there. So we already have the map. I don't know. Let's try that. And then this is viewshed. This is vs.1. No, 0.range. Right. Position is vs. Let's make position have this point ability. Components mod. Right. We have position We have Bevy ECS prelude use bracket lib prelude star, and we'll just impl position, and we'll just return a point. Fn pub fun point self point point x self x y self y, and that way we can just say here vs.1.point, right? And then apparently we have to do this retain thing. Let's find out. Finally, we use vector's retain method to delete any entries that don't meet the criteria we specify. It's a lambda reclosure. It iterates over the vector, passing p as parameter. P is inside the map boundaries, we keep it. This prevents other functions from trying to access a tile outside of the working map area. But he's not explaining why this is necessary. How many tiles from the field of view are going to be outside the map area? I mean, I'll put it in, but I don't understand why it's necessary. Okay, so that should be the visibility system, and now we have to add it to, oops, point. Yeah, use bracket lib. And map doesn't exist. Really? Where's map? Oh, map's not a component, it's a resource, so it's in a different thing, right? So use create map. Map. And query. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that this is a tuple. Yeah, so what are we doing here? So I'm getting the resource, so maybe we do. We need to deref it and then give it the ref. Do I have to put the mute up here? Or do I have to put a mute in the... Or I put the mute here? That doesn't make sense. Alright, so let me actually read the error message. What is it saying? Oh, this has to be mutable. And this is saying this has to be mutable. So we get rid of this. Now it's saying can't borrow is mutable. How did we do the other system then? Wait, because this was mutable. I put mutable everywhere. Oh, so this also has to be mutable inside here. Yeah, okay, now we only have 6 warnings, but we're not actually using it. Alright, so now we actually have to call it. So let's add it to our main. And we got to figure out where it goes. We have the player, we have the stage. So after the player moves, right? And we handle the key. We run these in parallel, but before we run these, we want to do we want to update the Viewshed for all of. Yeah, and I think it'll figure that out, right? Because we're writing to the Viewshed system visibility system. Right, and then we add a Viewshed to the player. And we're going to have to create a new for that, right? I should be able to derive default. Oh no, we don't want to derive default. We want to actually give it a range. That's right. So impl viewshed pub fun new range I32 self visible tiles back new range. There. Looks good, looks good. And then over here in our new, we have to give it a range. So range 5, like that. And then it blows up. Did I forget to make that public? I did. Oh, good. Okay, so now we have to figure out when we draw the map, rendering visibility badly. When we draw the map, we only want to draw the visible tiles. So let's go to our map drawing system, which I think is in main. No. It's where we update what we can draw, the draw list. That's right. Oh. Right. Okay, so here's the map. We say map draw. We should pass in the viewshed of the player. Oh, we can't do that though, right? Because how do we get that? So basically we need to add in the draw mobs. Maybe we refactor that now, draw mobs. And we call it draw. Or generate draw list. Okay. And then once a draw list has been generated, then we know we can draw everything. Oh, I see. So this is actually gonna. Oh, that's right. This will run before, at the beginning of the tick. This runs. Where's our tick? Yeah, the beginning of the tick. This runs. So it generates the draw list, and then we should just walk through the draw list and draw everything in the draw list. Except we're cheating with this FPS thing. And the player's location on the screen. We can do those. But instead of this map draw, we want to actually, in the system for the how much work do we want to do in here? Yeah, because we have the draw list, and then we're going to want to mute map as map because this will get big, right? So maybe instead of gen draw list, we do have draw mobs, and then after, no, first we'll have a with system draw map. I guess it doesn't matter the order, right? It runs in parallel. Except each one is going to mutate the draw list. So this will be draw mobs. And then we'll have a quick draw map. We don't need a mutable reference to the map, so we can just say res map. And this is going to be based on the player's viewshed. So it's query, open bracket, open paren, player, viewshed. And that'll just contain the points that the player can see. Right? And so then for Q in query, iter. Isn't that by default? It should do an iter? we're going to do... Oh, yeah, so... right. We want to clear... We want to make sure we clear it at the right spot. So this needs to be run sequentially. How do we do... There should be a system sequential. There's single threaded with system, there's single threaded, there's parallel. So I'm guessing single threaded executioner means sequential. Why are there no docs for this? Let's look up here. System, what was it called? System something? System stage. Yeah, there's no docs. Exclusive at start, exclusive at end, exclusive before commands. I'm sure there's something interesting about commands, and if I click on this, there's nothing. So we just have to guess that we want single, and single doesn't mean or single threaded, and that just means it'll run in the order that they were added, hopefully. Yeah, so we do the visibility system, we move the mobs, we have draw map and then draw mob. So if I do draw map first, which means I have to put this draw list clear, here. And then for queue and query, so now we have the viewshed, which is in Q.1. Player we can ignore. We're just trying to get the viewshed of the player. So for queue and query, we're going to say we get the viewshed for point in Q.1 .visible items. Oh, this is why we need to make it public. Draw list if map is opaque. Oh, right, we have a point. Oh yeah, these points are unknown. We don't know the viewshed here. I have the system star here, so we should know that. We should know what the type of point is. Oh, maybe it doesn't know because this is... Q is... Okay, so let x equals Q.1, and type of x is unknown. But... Oh, I have to deconstruct it maybe? Player, viewshed, and query? No? Oh, maybe I do need the iter. Yep, okay, so that was it. That was the problem all along. The point is unknown. Why? Because I misspelled it. Viewshed. No. It's a viewshed. Visible tiles. Still unknown. Alright, let's see if we build it, if we get a better error message. Oh, it's a private field, right. I was saying that. There we go. Okay, so now point should be a point, and it is. And that's XY coordinates. So, but the problem is opaque. If I look at map now, it takes an index. So we need to convert it into an index. XY is opaque. Self and P point. And it's just going to return self is opaque of P dot X plus P dot Y times self dot width as U size. Right? So then we can just say if, oh, yeah, if it's opaque, then we're going to draw position mob. Oh, we're putting the whole mob in there. Okay, that's not what we want. Okay, we got to refactor drawable too. Okay, so this is going to basically be draw list items push drawable new position, which is point, except point is not a position. But we can implement an into for it, and then I just want to draw. This is going to be if map dot xy is opaque point. Then we're going to make it a hash, else we're going to make it a dot. And that'll be the map. Right, and now I need to change drawable new to take not a mob but an appearance. Right, and I'm going to change this to mob.appearance. And then there's something else I need to change. Oh, I need to implement into for point. Right. Components. Impl from point for position. From P point self xpx ypy. That's the dumbest implementation ever, but you got to do it, right? Okay, let's see what it builds. Wow, 5 errors. Why did that build 5 times though? That's weird. Okay, let's look at the first one. Okay, that's easy to fix. This doesn't like this. Oh, because I need to return a bool. Okay. This point doesn't like it. It says mismatched types. But maybe I can just throw on an into there. Okay. Let's see if we can do that. Maybe I had... No, this should do the trick, and then I can just do point like that. Yeah. Okay, let's try rebuilding after those changes. Into doesn't work. Trait from bracket lib prelude point is not implemented for component's position. Really? I thought I just did it. Oh, from this. Okay, that's what I did. Okay. Good enough. No, not good enough. Okay. Required because the requirement's here. Help. The trait from reference to point is implemented for a component's position, but not for a reference to component's position. And drawable new takes a reference. Oh, okay. So can we just, oops. Can I just ampersand it here? Yeah. Well, that was a confusing error. All right, let's see if we have a viewshed now. We do not. Oh, we sort of do. We never calculated the initial viewshed. That was the problem. And this is a range of 5. But that's cool. So now what we're doing is we're actually able to just draw what we can see. Although we're still drawing all the floors. Oh, right. Right. Let's get rid of that. I'm still drawing the whole map. Map draw. So I can just pull this, both those lines out. Try again. And now there's a warning that there's something I'm not using. Okay, so we just need a viewshed. Why did hitting space not do the trick? And we gotta fix the fact that we shouldn't be able to see the rat, right? But that's working pretty well, I would say. Can't get out of the room.